Hey y'all, welcome to the dollhouse. I'm gonna get started here in a couple minutes. I'm just trying to familiarize myself with StreamYard because I didn't get as much time as I would have liked to get to set up. So we'll get started in about 2 or 3 minutes. Hey, Exoticals United, embrace your curls, ladies. So happy to have you here. And having this conversation live. Let me see about my sound. I'm just trying to work on this sound situation because I want to make sure that y'all can hear me good. So let me just get my sound together. Um, let me know if y'all can hear me okay because everything is good right now, but I'm scared that eventually the sound might start acting up because for some reason I don't like pulling out my microphone. It's just it okay, good, thank you. It feels like work. And this I don't want it to feel like work to me at all. So, but if I need to, I will scurry on over and get the microphone. So anyway, y'all, what I'm going to be discussing today is a video clip I saw earlier on Iyanla or well Oprah's channel. It was aired about 10 years ago, and it's Oprah and Iyanla Van Zant listening to a woman discuss her colorism experience. So I'm going to play it, and then we're just going to go through it. Okay. All right, y'all. Let's see what happens.
Have darker family members.
Okay, hold on. Let me do this. All right. Let's see what she has to say here.
As a light-skinned African American woman, I can tell you, like, yes, I have darker family members. I see what they face and what they deal with. I don't tolerate it. I was never raised in my family to tolerate it. At the same time, though, being a light-skinned girl, you get called names. You get called light bright. You get called high yellow. This is a red bone. This is a reality every day, and they make you feel as if you're alienated. You're not black enough. You're alienated from your own people. You're never black enough. Your long hair automatically means you think you're all that. Your light skin automatically makes you think you're pretty. But we're still black in America. None of us feel advantaged.
But here's the piece that I find very interesting is that both the dark and the light are experiencing the same things at different ends of the spectrum. Yeah. Because you got insulted by being called high yellow or red bone, but somebody being called a coon, a jigaboo, and a monkey, you understand, tar baby.
We're called that too. We're called coon and jigaboo and all of those same things too. We're still called that. On top of light bright and all those other things, we're still also
so the outside world that sees you as just a black person keeps the black stuff on you, and then within the community you get it. Wow.
Yeah. I think that the healing really is going to begin when each of us look at each other and validate each other's experience.
Okay, so I feel like I have to stop it here and just kind of mention that Iyanla, she actually had an aha moment. And the thing about Oprah and Iyanla, that the comment section that we will see very shortly, the thing about them is they are different because they are listening. They are listening and trying to understand, which is important. And it's probably why they're very successful, just listening to people, seeking to understand them rather than being defensive about skin tone. Yamina, thank you for coming, doll. All right, so I'm going to continue because Iyanla, she like in a moment, just a moment ago, she got it. She got it. She was like, okay, so yeah, I hear you. You get called light bright. You get called, um, pissy yellow, whatever color. But You also get called cool. You also get called jigaboo. And so there is an element there that she may not have considered.
Experience. That's when the healing really begins. When needs a witness. Exactly right. When we can look at a that's the tweet, people. A wound needs a
Listen to Oprah. She's going to always find a way to capitalize, and a wound needs a witness. That's the tweet, people. Oprah, listen to that sharp mind, that HBCU graduate mind.
And that's what this is. More than anything tonight, I think there have been, just like the Twitter that you said, not knowing that light-skinned women had painful experiences, that's opening up the wound and opening up the opportunity for a conversation.
Okay, y'all. So Oprah's life class has been trying to solve colorism for 10 years now. And here I am, just getting on the bandwagon. Okay. And again, my whole role, yep, she got the HBCU capitalism hustle, baby. Yeah. My whole role in this discussion is just to help my darker skinned sisters see that there's nothing special about having a privilege of hair, good, quote unquote, good hair texture, or um, the skin, the light skin privilege. Yes, those are privileges that other people might enjoy that you don't have access to, but it doesn't make you less special. It doesn't diminish your shine. But the thing is that I'm coming to realize is that people are just going to be human. They're going to be people. And they sometimes will feel envious and will sometimes naturally feel jealous. And it's just crazy that the phenomenon of skin tone is a thing, but I guess not so much because lighter skin, it is um, it is praised. Darker skin praise perhaps may not be as um, maybe not as vocal. I guess it just depends on where you are. Um, I hope that this is making sense. But when I looked at the comment section of that video, that's where the shenanigans really started, y'all. Let me pull this up. So the very first comment, let me get to that. I just want this. Okay. I don't even know if I can see it. The first comment, not that it matters, but she looks brown skinned to me. 78 likes. Okay. That is the main point of this discussion. Nothing about the healing, nothing about, man, I can see how you've gotten it from both sides. Because the people in the comment section are so focused on the fact that she has a rich concentration of melanin that they want to make sure that she doesn't think of herself as a light-skinned person. Even though, oh yeah, you knew it. I knew people were going to say that, but the extent of how much that they are saying it, not that it matters, but she looks brown skinned to me. It kills me when Black women who ain't light skinned try to come through with the "but I'm light skinned" eyes roll. Okay, y'all, let's really just think about this. This whole video, she's not light skinned. I have to agree. She barely passes the paper bag test. Did she pass or not? If she barely passed, she passed. Did she pass or not? She's not light skinned. Medium brown. She's only a few shades lighter than me. Okay, she's lighter than you. She's experienced a life where people around her may have been darker than her. And as a result, poked fun, prodded, and cajoled her to try and elicit a response. she had an experience. Obviously, you can hear the pain in her voice where somebody thought that she felt like she was better than them because of how she looked. Like, you don't have to be a stick of butter brown. You don't have to be butter pecan, cream colored to experience reverse colorism. And you know what? I almost wonder if the girl from the original video, I'm going to go back to her. I almost wonder if she doesn't have if she didn't have locks, I almost wonder if she would have. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, y'all, with this live stream. That's why I need to practice. Y'all, I almost wonder if she didn't have like curly hair before she let her hair lock up, because Exoticals United, she's always talking about how featureism and texturism impact how people see you, whether or not they see you as quote unquote light skinned or not. So I wonder if she had an experience growing up where she had really long hair, ponytails, and had some kids picking on her from that. But the main point is that she had an experience and she wanted to share it. And all anybody could focus on was the fact that she wasn't that light skinned. The thing is that everybody's not white passing. Every light skinned person that you meet is not white passing. And it just seems to be that you have to be white passing in order to really be considered light skinned. You have to be confused from a distance for, somebody else. So I want to show another file I want to add. I guess I don't know how to work this, y'all. I'm trying my hardest. And I wish that I had had a little bit more time to prepare, edit, layout. No, I just want to add this picture. I want to add a picture of a lady who is supposedly the darkest woman on earth. Oh, okay. I think this is it. Duh. I know how to do it now, y'all. No, I actually don't. I thought I did, but I don't. So there's a picture that I want to put up of the lady who was in the Guinness Book of World Records. She's the model with the darkest, most beautiful skin. She's stunning. I mean, really. But I can't figure out how to do it because I'm a target. No, I shouldn't say that about myself, y'all. We know here in the Dollhouse, words have power. So I want to bring this up. And before I do that, I'll bring up another video of a content creator. This is a content creator in the exotical space. And she's calling herself the light skin police for that day. The lady in her video considers herself to be light skinned too. But the light skin police says, no, baby, you are not light skinned. So I'm going to play this video and we're going to kind of bring all of this together because these are two women who people are questioning their light-skinnedness or their experience. And I'm really curious about diving into the gatekeeping from both sides. The gatekeeping from people who are dark skinned, who say, you're not really light skinned, you're close to me. To the light skinned people are like, baby, I'm light skinned. You're not in this club. You can't be in this club over here. So this is basically someone saying you can't be in the light skin club. Let's hear what she has to say.
Being a curly head, light skinned princess that everyone is jealous of. And I was like, light skin, no. Lighter than, yes. We all know social media, TikTok, Instagram have a lot of black folks delusional, especially a lot of black women. And you got a lot of people who are brown skinned and they will tell you you're light skinned. And I was like, not according to me. So I'm going to have to be the light skinned police and say, sorry, boo boo, you don't fit the light skin category. I don't know if y'all remember a couple of years ago, They had Oprah Winfrey and Iyanla, and they were talking about light skin. And a lady had jumped up. She was the first one to speak. So they was like, okay, we need a light skinned woman to say something. And she jumped up, and Iyanla ran over there and pulled up the brown paper bag and said, you're not light skinned, you're lighter than. And I couldn't help but laugh. I laughed so hard and I was crying tears. It was so funny because the lady really thought she was light skinned. And I'm watching this from TV. I was like, this lady's like brown complected, but what can I say? I guess it all depends on where you live. Because here in LA, she'll be classified as a brown skin. She will not be light skinned. And what can I say? Maybe down there in Atlanta, North Carolina, some of those southern states, she probably would be classified as that. And I see here in the comments it says she has green eyes, and I was like, green eyes? Where? If her eyes are green, I've never seen green eyes that dark before. I do know they have different shades of green. They got like hazel, and then they got like brown green, but her eyes look dark brown to me. And I was like, her eyes really green? Maybe in the light, maybe if she wore something green. I don't know. I have blue green eyes, and you can see them shining like sparkling little emeralds. I don't care if it's in the bright sunlight or in a dark room. You can see it. I was like, I don't see any green. So maybe if she wore like green or green eye makeup or something like that to make it stand out, I would notice. So cute girl, very beautiful skin, very beautiful hair, but boo boo, you ain't light skin. Kind of like light skin Keisha. Y'all know I did that light skin Keisha video, and a lot of people were saying she's light skinned. A lot of people said she's not light skinned, and I was like, light skin Keisha. Where I come from, she'll be classified as brown skin. Maybe down there in the south, I guess anybody that has a little bit of light brown in their skin, everybody light skin or whatever. And I was like, that's strange to me. Depending on where you go and where you live, people will classify you as light, medium, caramel, or what.
Okay. So I ended that. She is basically, you know, being the light skin police. She's basically saying you are, you may be in the South, you're light skin, but to me, where I'm from, I have green eyes, I've got light skin. You're not in the club with me. And the thing is that people have had experiences that say otherwise. And it's like you still get to keep your privilege of, having the most access to the black male gaze. If that's what you're worried about as a light-skinned woman, you're worried about maintaining that privilege, you get to still have that privilege. Even if somebody else says that they're light skinned and they're more caramel complected, you don't lose your spot as the highest preferred. Because really that's the source of the light skin, dark skin contention. That's really the source. But there's really no other benefit to being in the club. So why try to keep somebody else out? What's the harm in somebody saying that they're light skinned, especially when their experiences have reflected it? Where's the harm in that? Especially when, in comparison to somebody else, she is light skinned. This lady is light skinned. Both of these women are light skinned in comparison to other dark skinned people. Like the lady who I would love to show you, whose skin is so gorgeous. Yeah, I definitely want to try and do that. I think I may have success with it, y'all. Just watch this. So, okay, let's see. I think I might be onto something. So these are the two dolls who just spoke about being, okay, so the girl in the second video is lighter than the girl in the first, but that doesn't make the girl in the first video not light skinned. It doesn't. It's weird to me that she's being policed like that. So I'm going to show you dark skinned people that, in comparison to these people, this woman is absolutely dark skinned. I mean, absolutely light skinned. So, we don't know who people have in their family. We don't know, who may have bullied them or called them what. And even if that person doesn't consider themselves to be light skinned, it doesn't mean that they haven't been damaged by someone else who, believes that she is. So yeah, I'm on to something, y'all. I'm about to share this beautiful South Sudanese model. She's definitely gorgeous. Hold on, let me get this together for y'all. She's definitely gorgeous and worthy of the title of having the most beautiful dark skin. I am on a roll. I love you guys for being so patient with me. So here she is, coming right up. Compared to this woman is dark skinned for sure. It's a game of comparison and contrast. Like, I'm dark skinned to somebody, but it still doesn't prevent me from being able to say I'm light skinned. And what does it matter if I say I'm light skinned? I can also say I'm dark skinned. I'm a dark skinned woman. I could say that, and it would also be fact. It's based on who you're standing next to. And yeah, we took a vote. There's like a dividing line for what one might consider dark skin, and the Fenty shades is a great way to do it. The paper bag test was one way to do it. The caramel skin test is one way to do it. Now, there's really, but really, it's like, is there a contest? Is there going to be? Do you win a prize when you're over 390, Fenty shade 390? When you're Fenty 240, do you get money off on your taxes or something? Or do you get, like, what is the real privilege? For me, the privilege of being light skinned, yeah, I may have felt that. I may have enjoyed that. I may have enjoyed texturism. But it's such a fleeting moment of enjoy. Like, who cares? There are other privileges to enjoy. Why does this one carry such a heavy weight on people to the point where they want to gatekeep other people from saying what they are? Like, this lady is the winner for the darkest woman on earth. She is stunning. And hold on, I don't know what I'm doing again. Let's do this again. She is stunning. Okay. I want to show her alone. I wonder if I can blow this lady up. And in America, okay, I guess somebody like Viola Davis would be considered dark skinned too. But if Viola Davis were in a village full of this woman, Viola Davis would be light skinned. Like, y'all, this is really dumb, kind of. Like, the way that people are going back and forth about, well, you ain't really, well, you ain't, it's, I'm not going to say dumb anymore. I shouldn't judge it like that. But what I will say is that it's very interesting. It's interesting to perceive. And I understand why it happens. And when I saw her, when she said she was light skinned, I was like, oh, she bald. Because I knew she was about to get that tongue lashing in that comment section. I was like, oh Lord, shit. Let me scroll on down. I knew she was about to get it because she said it, and she was, she's not light enough to just be out here saying I'm light skinned. You're not light enough to say the truth. You're not light enough. You're on the verge. You're dark enough to the point where people feel comfortable with trying to pull you into some position that makes you feel inferior, either because they feel inferior or they want to remain in a feeling of superiority. Yeah, and because there are light-skinned people who will, like the light-skinned woman from the channel that we just watched, talking about the young lady. She's not really light-skinned. I'm light-skinned. I'm light-skinned. You're not really light-skinned. You can't come in my club. But really, does it matter? Does it really? In the grand scheme of things, this conversation is important. And it's important because it's raising the collective consciousness of women in our communities. And I'm happy to help do whatever I can do to help support women having a higher level of self acceptance and realization that their skin tone, even if it is the deepest of shades, can be beautiful. Make sure it's smooth, make sure it's well kept. Don't be ashy. Maximize your looks. You know, somebody like Viola Davis, for instance, I'm going to go back to her. Somebody like her, to me, is stunning. Somebody like this lady, indeed, is stunning. And she is dark skinned. And in comparison to this woman,
Today, I'm gonna have to get.
she's definitely dark skinned. And this woman, by comparison, is light skinned. And this woman, even based on the Fenty shade calculator that we voted on, she's light skinned there too. I don't care if she's using a filter, but based on that, in this picture, she is, to me, on the lighter end of the spectrum. If we have to divide the spectrum, and we have to, obviously there are reasons why that's important. If we have to divide the spectrum, then she's on the left side with the light skin. In my viewpoint. Now I could be wrong. Like I don't know. I could be wrong. But just in comparison to others, it's like I don't feel like there's anything wrong with this person saying I'm light skinned. I don't feel that there's anything wrong with her doing that. Now, the boldness of this woman, the boldness, like I'm happy that she was confident enough. Now, if she, like I said, if she had the curlier, straighter hair and not this silly mohawk thing she's got going on, purple eyebrows, if you could see her with like curly hair, she would definitely probably be more light skinned, classified, I guess. If you look at this woman to her right, the woman that's looking, probably thinking to herself, girl, you ain't really light skinned. If you look at her, you can see that there is a difference. Like there is a stark difference in their tones. They will have different experiences in their life. Absolutely. So I don't think that, this conversation is over. Obviously, this video is 10 years old. The conversation is still persisting. There are nuances that are being uncovered daily. Light-skinned people have a responsibility to listen. And dark-skinned people are now being held accountable because they have that same responsibility to listen to others who are not only getting you're a jigaboo, coon, blackie, but they're also getting light, bright, high yellow heifer, pissy light skin. It goes both ways for people in the middle. It goes both ways. So this woman, I would say, is in the middle. Absolutely. And so policing other people, it's kind of weird. But if you catch yourself thinking, oh, well, you're not really all that light skinned, or you're not really all that dark skinned, just keep it to yourself, because the point is that this person could have still experienced colorism, because the people around them can be darker or even lighter. We don't know what her experience was being raised. Every other relative in her family could be Sudanese. They could look exactly like this. How would we know? Her experience is different. And the point for us to note is that dark skinned people get it, light skinned people get it, white people get it, Asian people get it. Everybody gets it. No one escapes Earth without some suffering. So pick your poison. Are you going to suffer because you're mad that someone called themselves light skinned? Or are you just going to appreciate your own skin tone and just keep it moving? You know, I don't know, y'all. This is probably kind of all over the place, but I do like doing lives. I want to do more of them. I really hope that this was interesting, at least. But I'm surprised. I'm actually not surprised Oprah couldn't solve colorism. I don't think it's going to get solved anytime soon. I'm curious to find the clip of Iyanla Van Zant using the paper bag on an audience member. Like, I would love to see Iyanla Van Zant using the paper bag. I'm going to go back to this comment section because there was still yet more craziness. Okay. Here's a person saying, I've noticed several comments about the first lady not being light skinned. I think it's important to see things from a broader perspective. As varied as blacks are in color, there are darker light skinned people and lighter dark skinned people. But in fact, this even matters to so many people. But let me start that over. But the fact that this even matters to so many people displays how important it truly is to qualify what we are. And this is the point of her statement. We are all Black. The separation, segregation, and categorization is a reflection of how we've internalized racism. When we feel the need to place other Blacks and compare and contrast, we are functioning no differently from the historically racist figures. Well, it may not be that deep. I think people like to classify other people, period. And we like to classify ourselves because it helps us to feel like we are important. We have a place in the world. We know our place. And so here's a comment that says, I agree with what you're saying, but I'm lighter than my female siblings. I don't consider myself light skinned. I'm brown skinned, just like the first lady. Maybe she feels better about herself saying that she's light skinned, and I hope that's not the case. Why do you hope that it's not the case, that she feels better about herself? Because she says that she's light skinned. Why is it bad for her to feel, well, okay, yeah, I can see why that would be bad. Like, oh, I'm better because I'm light skinned. No, I don't think that's what she's saying. She's just acknowledging that her skin tone, she's had an experience where she feels like she can classify herself as light skinned. But for some reason, this commenter feels like, oh, well, she better not be acting like she's better because being light skinned is better. Clearly, light skin is better. She's down here with us in the dark skin pile. And even though I'm lighter than my siblings, I don't call myself light skinned because I'm a virtuous woman. I'm better. I'm better because I don't call myself light skinned. I'm lighter than her. I don't even call myself light skinned, but I'm better than her. But she can't think she's better than anybody else. But I can. It's such a really circular argument. And I know I'm just embellishing a little bit, but that's just how I am. So someone else says, designation of shade is a matter of opinion. And it's apparently very important to so many of us. Okay. Yeah. Here's a light-skinned man. I find that when someone starts as a light-skinned man/woman, 95% of the time they are light skinned. They are not light skinned by any measure. To you, Tony Town, Tony K Town, that person may not be light skinned to you. And don't worry, they're not going to encroach on your privilege with the light skinned boys. This is another point. The first woman speaking in the video is beautiful and makes a very valid point. However, where I'm from, she would not be considered light skinned. I guess in different parts of the country, she would be considered light skinned. She and I are about the same complexion, and I am medium brown skin. Is that a thing? Like in different areas of the country, you're light skinned. Okay. Yeah. Someone says in New Orleans, she would be considered brown skin and even in some circles, dark. In other cities or regions, light skin. Either way, I'm not going to dismiss her pain. That's the point. She would be considered brown skin and in some circles, dark in New Orleans. In Senegal, she would be considered light skin and in some circles, yellow. Okay. Either way, I'm not going to dismiss her pain. This all needs to stop. Period. But there's a comma there. As we have so many other internal and external issues in our community to deal with. So yeah. Okay, so then there's this. I'm from Louisiana. She would definitely not be considered light skinned. But here, light skin refers to more people who are multi-generationally mixed at race, as opposed to black, who just happen to get light skin genetically. Well, people who happen to get light skin genetically happen to get light skin because they're multi-generationally mixed in most instances. It just doesn't like the stork doesn't, grant the light skin wish for the dark skinned parents out of the blue. Usually it's because of genetics. Lord. It's also interesting to me. This girl's not light skinned, you know. And this comment drives it home. It's sad that a lot of these comments are about whether the first speaker was actually light skinned or not. That's my opinion too. Love, joy, and freedom. That's exactly what I thought. I'm going to continue. It ironically highlights the topic itself, as people can't even concentrate on her experience, but just her skin color. It's shameful to read all of the comparisons people are making. How can we ever get over this if we keep falling into the same pattern over and over? Wake up, people. Let's stop dividing ourselves over the level of melanin. Accept each other's struggles and move on together. Yes, just accept it if somebody says anything about their skin tone. It's their skin. And whatever someone says about yours, let it roll off you like water off a duck's back for the most part. If it's not getting you paid, who cares? Really? Yeah, no, I agree. Light skin is no longer paper bag for sure. Paper bag and lighter is definitely high yellow. There are definitely like this. I believe. Here I am messing up again, y'all. Don't blame me. Don't judge me. This lady is the same color as me, the doll. I am the doll. Okay, let me go back to the doll. I'm not light skinned to certain people. And obviously, y'all, this is not what I look like. Okay, this is a doll. But this doll, I consider this doll is very close to my color. And her hair looks similar to mine, okay? But to some people, I guess I wouldn't be light skinned, and the doll wouldn't be light skinned either. And this lady is pretty much the same color as the doll. That hair may be the thing that prevents people from seeing that she has a lighter skin tone. So, yeah, it's really just interesting. And people have benefited from colorism, but have also suffered under the weight of it. People have suffered under the weight of being light skinned. And that's basically what she's saying. She's not like, yeah, I'm light skinned. I got free trip on a yacht, and I get taken to school on a helicopter every morning. And that's all I get so much because of this light skin that I got, and I feel like I should be getting more. But there are other light skinned people getting privileges above me. That's not what light skin privilege looks like. It doesn't look like that at all. We know what it looks like. The dolls know what light skin privilege looks like. And it usually looks like admiration from the eyes of a man. Okay. Yeah, the light skinned police would consider you yellow bone, So it's just really wild to me how the comments did not embrace her, and they didn't even humanize her. They didn't even let her be like a human. It was just, let's just drag her in the comments. They didn't take a moment to listen. And that's indicative of some of that bias against light skinned people, that in and of itself, not listening to her experience. Let's just shut it down. So yeah, most of the light skinned people who have had experiences where other people are thinking that they think they're better, most of the people are in the middle. Like, are, very, very light. What's the Spanish name for butter? Mantequilla. I think that's it. Our very light sisters, they're mostly white passing. A lot of them, or they could pass for something else completely. But a lot of us are like cafe au lait, where we have just that bit of cream that, kind of mellows out the melanin. Some people are more melanin rich. A lot of us have melanin, but we may not be melanin rich. This woman, when I say melanin rich, this is melanin rich. This is melanin rich. This is melanin billionaire. This woman right here is not melanin rich. She's just got a little money in the bank. Okay, she's got a little melanin in the bank. She's not melanin rich. She's just got a little in the bank. Okay? Well, yeah, and a lot of times people who are darker skin or whatever, or would be medium tone, tan, like Exoticals United is making some excellent points. Yeah, you can be red bone, yellow bone, anything in between, especially if you tan. If you lay out, I used to love to lay out. It just pulls that copper tone. Copper tone, remember the copper tone brand? It just pulls that copper tone from underneath the skin. And it's really beautiful. The doll, the doll is copper toned. Isn't she though? The doll is copper toned and enjoying it. Enjoying the privilege of being copper toned. So yeah, and that is also light skin, just so you are aware. So, this is the darkest woman in the world. And by comparison, someone like this, where is she at? Is also dark, but in comparison to her, Viola Davis would be lighter. If Viola Davis stepped into this Senegalese village, they'd be like, who is this white bitch from America? Like, or they would at least, they'd know she's from somewhere else. They might not say, who is this white bitch from America? But they definitely would be like, okay, who is this foreigner? Who is this light chocolate lady? That's a terrible accent. That was probably racist. Please forgive me. But they would know that this woman is one of them. This woman would be considered dark skin in America. In this village, she would not be. She would be light skinned. You know, in this woman's village, this woman would definitely be considered light skinned. So again, and in my village, here in the dollhouse, she's considered light skinned. Over here in the dollhouse, this is a light skinned woman. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Yeah. So, y'all, I really do love this community. We are creating a culture that is certainly a bit more refined than some of the other spaces. And not to say that in comparison, we're better. But no, I think that they started conversations that we've been able to kind of sift and make into a more refined way of thinking. And the women who started the conversations, the Chrissies, the, you know, Kendall St. Charles, the Pink Pill, Cynthia G's, all of these ladies, they made their observations on colorism. And I believe that they started some important conversations, even if they have been loud and wrong at times, even if so. So, you know, you guys, I appreciate you for joining me on this live stream tonight. You are a fantastic group of women. Make sure to continue to love yourself and send out love. And we'll be talking again soon.